Okay, next. I am going to continue with the mountains and hills. I'm going to start trying to bring them down a little bit darker, but not too dark still. I'm sure I'll end up sort of addressing each hill on its own just so I can control a little bit more of the value. I also wanted to say I'm gonna address this whole shape that's everything below this one hill mountain shape. But eventually I'm gonna not just keep layering more and more and more and more and more layers on this most forward layer, because I am if you remember in our primaries to black, I did stop at a point where, excuse me, I was when we did this color on everyone and then this on everyone, but when we got to this one, I just put the really strong peacock blue on here, and I left those with just the first two layers on them. So these would have been only up to that layer. And that's just to it's sometimes fine to keep doing layers and layers, especially when I'm trying to get to a really, really dark. Sometimes they can start adding up in ways that make it a little bit less luminous. So at some point, I'll say, you know, that's I want to make sure that it's clearly a dark related to blue, but I'll let it be sort of, you'll see what I'm talking about. Hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm going to mix up a little bit more stronger peacock blue, and when I start getting down here, I'm going to start trying to go a little bit darker, not too much, but darker in a sense of adding a little bit of quinacridone rose to the peacock blue, which is going to just sort of tone it down in and make it sort of shift into a violet, a bluish, a violety blue. And that will be nice to a nice transition as we keep sort of getting it darker and darker. So that will help. So here's what that's going to look like. So again, just sort of making sure that my layers, that was fun, are nice and watery and not getting too dark too fast, because that's can make it tricky to adjust. So I'm going to use this, and when I get down lower, I'm going to add a little bit of Quin Rose to that and make it a little bit more violety blue. That's going to be fun. Okay, so as we've been doing, I'm sort of, first I really do kind of remind myself what shape, when you're going across these pencil lines, as we are wont to do and stay inside lines, it can be confusing, and so it's good to just take a moment and make sure you know where you're starting and stopping as far as pencil lines are concerned. There's my nice bead of water. Is it a little dark? I'm not letting you just go to waste over here. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Yes, I am. I'm going to stop worrying about that. But because I am going to start introducing a little bit of Quinrose, and this is something I could have pre-mixed. We're gonna start going towards a little bit darker and a little bit more grayed out, violety in this case. So that was kind of that's a little bit more of a non-gradual transition than I was thinking, but I'm going to say it's okay, partly because I know that if I try to go back in and adjust something, I'm going to have, and I still want this really clean transition. I would have to address the entire shape, and this is already fine to me. So I will deal with. I didn't want the transition from blue to sort of a violet blue to be quite so. Wanted it more gradual, which would have been a good argument to have some paint already mixed up. But once again, this is still fairly light values, getting close to the mids, but I'm going to let that be like that. Slow build.